Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Straight Talk on Social Media. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be. We are finally enjoying some sunshine here in Portland, Oregon, as well as some Krispy Kreme donuts in the office this morning. Wish you were here. Sorry. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about social media in your community. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the news from the last couple of weeks. A few weeks ago, I mentioned, you may remember, that Warner Brothers was trying out renting movies via Facebook credits. The first movie that they tried out was The Dark Knight, the Batman movie, and recently they expanded and tried out 4 more movies, including Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first Harry Potter movie. And this really took off even more than The Dark Knight did. In fact, the Harry Potter fan page on Warner Brothers, which is where where you could rent the movie, that fan page had almost 40,000 new likers in the first 24 hours since the movie became available on that page. Now there are starting to be rumors that possibly Warner Brothers is considering purchasing Flickster, which is the social movie site that lets users do things like share movie ratings, discover new movies, and meet others with similar movie tastes. So Flickster is sort of a social media site for movies, and Warner Brothers reportedly considering buying Flickster. So that's the news there. Google is introducing something called +1, which is basically Google's version of the Facebook like button or the Twitter tweet button that is so prevalent around the web these days. According to Google's blog, they say today we're taking share recommendations a step further and letting you see people's recommendations right within search results. They say it's called +1, which is the digital shorthand for "this is pretty cool." And it says to recommend something, all you have to do is click a +1 on a web page or in search results that you find useful. You can see it there on the right-hand side of this screen, the little +1 icon there. Right now, it's going to start appearing on search results, but soon it'll be on sites around the web, again, like the Facebook like button. So that's just one thing to watch out for, is this Google +1 button. Twitter is going to start offering branded pages, or it's at least being considered. This is what the news came out saying, that Twitter's developers were considering using branded pages. The idea behind a branded page would be that it's a page for a company specifically, very similar to Facebook company pages. Right now, as you probably know, there's no differentiation on Twitter between a company or an individual. Those are their pages look exactly the same. There's no way to tell if you're on a company's page or an individual's page, except for the content that you see there. But now they're talking about actually starting branded pages, and there are some questions out there about what this is going to look like. There will be questions about whether it's going to have much differentiation in terms of functionality, the way that Facebook company pages have a little bit of difference in terms of functionality, and also what companies are going to do with their existing Twitter pages. Before Facebook started its company pages, the only option for businesses really was either to create an individual profile to make yourself just look like another person on Facebook, or to start a Facebook group. And so what we ended up with was lots of companies starting either individual profiles or groups, and then all of a sudden Facebook unveiled its Facebook company pages and gave companies no easy way to transfer their group members or their individual connections over to a company page, which is really where they were supposed to be. And so companies just had to write to their followers and say, please switch where you're liking us and following us on Facebook. So there's a question with this Twitter brand page, whether that's going to be an issue as well. We'll let you know as we learn more about this. The professional social network LinkedIn has started a new developer platform today, and what they've done basically is to join in with Facebook in what's called the Open Graph, where they're letting developers actually get into some of their technology and add some of LinkedIn's features to other websites. So, for instance, there's going to be a set of plugins so that you can easily bring content like professional summaries to your website, so that if you had an article about you somewhere else, or if there was some content on your website and you wanted to share a quick quick version of your LinkedIn profile, or for instance, if you wanted to give a quick version of your CEO's LinkedIn profile, you would be able to do that with these new buttons. And basically, LinkedIn is trying to sort of take on Facebook in terms of saying, okay, outside developers, you can come in and work with our platform as well. So it'll be interesting to see how well that gets used, and whether or not with LinkedIn's specific sort of professional focus in terms of networking within the business world, it might be interesting to see if this becomes something that actually ends up being more popular than Facebook in terms of sharing information and seeing information when it comes to business contacts. So those are some news items, and now let me just offer a few takeaways from them. First of all, with Warner Brothers and Facebook, the popularity and expansion of watching videos on Facebook and Warner Brothers' possible rumored acquisition of Flixster is sort of one more step in the conversion that we're seeing from traditional movie rental service to over-the-top video. And it's becoming clear, as we see Warner Brothers be successful with Facebook and talk about Flixster, that social media is going to be playing a part in this transition. So that, again, something interesting, especially for our telco clients who are on the webinar, something interesting to be following. With the Google Plus One, this is really one more way to be found online by adding things like Facebook like buttons and Twitter tweet buttons, and now these Google Plus One buttons. You've heard me say before that really the like button is something that you want to start trying to use. There are tools out there that let you add all of these buttons at once so that you can share, so that your users can share either via Google or via Facebook or via Twitter, whatever their possibility is. And you really want to start getting these tools associated with your content so that you make it as easy as possible for people to share your content. That this is sort of the way that Web 2.0 is going, of course, is it's all about individual users sharing things with their networks and their friends, about what they find interesting on the web, and people getting more and more recommendations about what to look at that way, as opposed to sort of more traditional marketing where you're announcing something and hoping people will see it. So these are really tools that you want to start implementing if you can. With the Twitter branded pages, these are really too new to give a definite yay or nay about, but we'll keep watching them and keep you posted. It really could be a good opportunity for businesses, and I think it is going to be interesting to see just how much variation to their normal user face Twitter gives to companies, and whether they'll offer any tools for converting their existing streams to branded pages. As I said a few minutes ago, that could be an issue. So we'll keep our eye on this, and we'll report back. But for now, it seems like an interesting possibility. And then with the LinkedIn Open Graph, really this, in my mind, is another reason for you to make sure that you have a LinkedIn profile. Normally, when I'm working with companies and they ask what services they should be using in terms of social media, I usually recommend that you at least have a LinkedIn page for your business. Keep it current. It doesn't take nearly as much work or as much time to keep it updated as a Facebook page does, and it's useful to have because of the networking tools that LinkedIn has. And now with the Open Graph and the ability to add sort of a mini LinkedIn profile to really any page around the web, it's more important, I think, just one more reason for you to make sure that you do have a LinkedIn profile for your company, and for maybe some of the key players within your company, your CEO, your president, things like that. So those are the takeaways from the news. Jumping into the focus, we're going to talk about social media in your community. I'm going to start by explaining why social media and local communities are sort of a natural complement to each other, and then I'm going to move in to discuss some specific ideas about that. So first of all, why are social media and community, a local community, a natural fit with each other? Well, first of all, social media is just currently a hot topic. It's something a lot of people want to know about because people have recognized its importance, and if nothing else, they realize that it's not going away anytime soon. Mark Fordyce, one of our principals here at Pivot, he and I get into this conversation all the time, where he doesn't necessarily see, see all of the ways that Facebook could be useful for individuals or businesses. He says that his initial love affair with it has ended, that sort of thing, and he's passed along articles to me about is this the end of Facebook? And I've sort of responded by saying, you know what, it's not going away. It's the analogy I draw is to our interstate highway system, where it may not be flashy and new anymore, but it's something we rely on every day because it does things that nothing else can do. So anyway, social media is a hot topic right now, and also local movements are also a hot topic right now. There's a strong shift these days culturally toward local communities, local buying, things like eating local food and that sort of thing. So tying social media to local community is sort of a natural blend of two hot topics, culturally speaking. Second, people of all ages want to learn about social media. It's really not just for younger people, and you've probably heard me say before that the fastest growing segment on Facebook is women ages 55 and older. And I've talked to many people in that 55 and up age range, and it might surprise you, or maybe it doesn't surprise you, to learn that the #1 reason I hear about why they finally decided to get onto Facebook or join another social media site has to do with staying in touch with their grandchildren who live far away. Things like services like Facebook or things like that make it so easy to share photos and connect via video and things like that people who are older are saying this is a great way and really the only way for me to stay in touch with my grandkids if I want to see regular pictures of them and hear about what's going on with them. And of course, young people love to use it also, and young people I think have gotten over the idea that mom is joining Facebook now. I don't know if you saw the Saturday Night Live skit about what you do when your mom joins Facebook. It's not quite repeatable here on this webinar, but it's if you're looking for some silly fun, you could go find that on YouTube. Anyway, younger people have gotten over this idea that their parents are on Facebook now, and so social media is one of those rare topics, culturally speaking, that is truly multi-generational. It's one of these rare things where people of all ages want to be doing it. And so therefore, of course, it's a natural fit with communities because communities do encompass people of all ages. Now, another reason that they are a fit is that there is a sense of mystery around social media, particularly for older people. I'm not going to define what I mean by older here. Some 70-year-old people have a strong sense of mystery around social media, and so do some 40-year-olds. And basically, there's this sense that social media is something strange and unknown, sort of that internet thing that the kids are doing. And there's some mystery around social media, and part of what you can do about this by combining social media and community is start to break through that mystery and help explain to people what the purpose of social media is, what the benefit of it is, and help to sort of demystify it a little bit for people who have heard of it but are just confused by what it is and what it does. Now, that said, there's also a strong sense of mistrust for some people when it comes to social media. This also tends to be true for older people as well, but I think this is also true for all age segments, at least for some people. People in their 20s and 30s, there are those holdouts that just mistrust the whole idea of social media and what it's about. These are the skeptics. And social media sites like Facebook in particular being the sort of model here, or the anti-model, is, they haven't done a lot to help themselves out in terms of, helping their trust in the public eye. People, there have been so many news stories about privacy concerns and privacy mistakes that Facebook and other services have made. And there are really a lot of people out there who are very scared about privacy. And frankly, the news media doesn't help much. Some of them are essentially scaring people into thinking that suddenly every bit of personal information about them will now be public for the world to see, thanks to things like Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. So there's really a strong sense of mistrust around social media, and again, you can help people overcome that by combining social media with some quality community programs, and I'll say more about some of those specific programs in just a minute. Now, from a positive perspective, the thing social media does best is connect people. So it's really a natural fit for helping get local communities together. Services like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and others, their whole purpose is to bring people together, to form connections among people, and help you get in touch with people. We probably many of us have stories of the friend from second grade that we finally got back in touch with because of social media, and that is one of its biggest benefits. And the people in your local community are often the people that you see most regularly, and if nothing else, they share a geographical location and therefore a geographical concern with you. So there are great ways to take advantage of what social media already does best in terms of connecting people to help you build community among the people and the businesses in your local area. Social media is really just a natural tie-in in that regard because of the way that it connects people together.